All right, welcome. So today, we're going to break down one of the absolute simplest, most powerful ways for young adults to start building some real wealth. Okay, let's just dive right into this.
Let me start with a kind of provocative question here. If you're not using an individual retirement account, an IRA, you're pretty much just giving away money. Seriously, you're letting potential tax savings and decades of growth just vanish into thin air. So today, we are going to fix that.
The very first thing you have to understand, really get, is that when it comes to investing, time is your single most valuable asset. It's more valuable than some hot stock tip, way more valuable than having a ton of money to start with. Time is everything.
And yeah, this is the cheat code for investing, for real. It all comes down to this idea of compounding. It's like a snowball effect, right? Your investment returns start earning their own returns. So the longer your snowball has to roll down the hill, well, the bigger it's going to get. Starting early just gives you the longest hill possible. Okay, check this out. This is where you can really see that cheat code in action. Look at this chart. We've got two people, both investing the exact same $200 a month. The only difference? One started at 25, the other waited till 35. The person who started at 25 ends up with way more than double what the other person has. That 10-year head start, that's the whole game right there. It's not about investing more, it's about investing sooner.
So how do we actually do this? How do we put this into practice? Well, we use a special tool that's designed specifically for this job. We need a sort of container for our investments that gives us some special advantages.
And that container is the Individual Retirement Account, or IRA. The name really says it all. It's an account, it's for you, an individual, and it's for your retirement. But the most important part, those last two words, tax advantages. That's the secret sauce that helps your money grow even faster.
Now listen up, because this is super important. This is where a lot of beginners get tripped up. Just opening an IRA is not the same as investing. Think of the IRA like a special lunchbox. Buying the lunchbox is just step one. You still have to put the food inside it, the actual investments like stocks or funds. If you just put money in an IRA and let it sit there as cash, you're totally missing the whole point.
All right, so you've got your container. Now you have one main choice to make right at the very beginning. And for a young person, this is a really, really important one.
So the choice is between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. And honestly, it all boils down to one simple question. When do you want to pay your taxes? With a Roth, you put in money that you've already paid taxes on, but here's the big reward. All that money grows, and you can pull it out in retirement completely, 100% tax-free. With a traditional IRA, you might get a tax break on your contribution today, but you'll have to pay income tax on everything you take out in retirement.
So which one is better for you? Well, look, the advice here is pretty much crystal clear. For most young adults, the Roth IRA is the place to start. And why is that? Well, it's because you're probably in a lower tax bracket now than you will be later in your career. So it just makes sense to pay those taxes today while your tax rate is low, and then you get to enjoy all that future growth completely tax-free when you're older and probably in a much higher tax bracket.
Okay, so we know why we should start and what kind of account to open. But how do you, actually do it? Let's make this super simple, super actionable, no more excuses.
Here it is, your 4-step plan. Step 1, go online and open a Roth IRA account. It literally takes a few minutes. Step 2, set up an automatic transfer from your bank account every single month. Even if it's just $50, just start. Step 3, you have to actually invest that money. A simple, low-cost index fund is a fantastic starting point. And finally, step 4, and this is maybe the hardest part, leave it alone. Don't check it every day. Just let time and consistency do all the heavy lifting for you.
And that right there, that's the whole mindset. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius. You don't need to pick the next big thing. Your only goal is to be consistent, to be automatic. Trust me, the boring, simple, automated approach is what builds real wealth over the long term.
All right, now that you've got the plan, let's just quickly cover a few common potholes on the road to retirement so you can steer clear of them right from the get-go.
Okay, a few key rules of the road here. First, you need earned income, so money from a job, to be able to contribute. Second, there are annual limits on how much you can put in, so just be aware of what the max is each year. Third, and I can't say this enough, don't let your money just sit in cash inside the account. You have to actually invest it. Fourth, when the market gets scary, and believe me, it will, do not panic and sell everything. And finally, please remember this is not your emergency fund. That's a totally separate bucket of money.
So really, it all boils down to this mindset. You have to lock this in right now.
An IRA is a gift to the 60-year-old version of you. It's not for a new car next year. It's not for a vacation. Just thinking of it as untouchable, long-term money, that is the absolute key to letting it grow the way it's supposed to.
You know, we started this whole thing by asking if you were donating your future wealth away. Well, here's the final question. Decades from now, a much older version of you is going to be incredibly grateful for the financial security they have. The only question is, will they be thanking the person you are today for taking that first simple step?